Welcome back to Everyday AI Made Simple. Grab your drink of choice and let's dive into today's topic. Today we're looking at a different tool, NotebookLM. There's so much you can do with this tool from Google.
Hey, welcome. So our digital lives, right? They're kind of scattered all over the place in countless different apps and folders. But what if you could not only organize all that info, but actually have a conversation with it? Well, today we're going to dive into a tool that promises to be exactly that, your own personal AI partner. Just think about it for a second. Every article you've ever saved, every note you've jotted down, every transcript from a meeting or a lecture, it's all just kind of sitting there. What if you could ask that whole collection of your own personal knowledge questions and get answers based only on what you've put in there? That's the exact problem NotebookLM was built to solve. Okay, now this is probably the most important thing to get right off the bat. How is this different from something like Gemini or ChatGPT? Well, those tools, they're trained on the whole public internet. They're amazing public knowledge assistants. But NotebookLM, that's a personal knowledge assistant. It is grounded only in the sources you give it. It doesn't go searching the web. It becomes a private expert on your world. This means your data stays private and the answers you get are pulled directly from your stuff, making them way more relevant to you. So officially, NotebookLM is an AI-powered research and note-taking assistant. But honestly, it's better to think of it as your personal thought partner, or maybe a virtual research assistant. You give it your information, it digests it, and then it helps you find connections you might have totally missed. And the best part? It shows its work, giving you citations for every single answer so you know exactly where the info came from. So what can you feed this thing? Well, pretty much anything. You can upload PDFs, text files, your Google Docs and slides. You can just drop in website links, YouTube videos with transcripts, and get this, even MP3 audio files. You can just copy and paste text. Oh, and here's a neat little trick. Even if it doesn't do images directly, you can just turn an image into a PDF and upload that. You can have up to 50 sources in each notebook, which adds up to a massive 25 million words. All right, so how are people actually using this? Let's start with the most practical, day-to-day stuff. Just taming the chaos of our digital lives and, getting some clarity. I absolutely love this example from a Reddit user. It is so simple, but it's so brilliant. Instead of digging through a messy glove box or searching through old files, they just ask their notebook, hey, what needs to be done at my next oil change? And the AI looks at the official manual and their past service history to give a perfect, actionable answer. This is life admin, but supercharged. In this organizational power, it just applies to everything. Imagine uploading all your Dungeons & Dragons session notes to keep track of every character and every crazy plot point. Or what about uploading your favorite cookbooks and just asking, I've got chicken, broccoli, and lemons. What can I make for dinner tonight? You can compare dense legal documents, keep all your appliance manuals in one spot, or pull together all your research for a big project or work. It's really all about creating one single searchable place for any part of your life. Now, for any students or lifelong learners out there, this is where NotebookLM starts to feel like a genuine superpower. It becomes the ultimate study partner. We've all been there, right? You've got a huge exam coming up, or maybe you just want to get up to speed on a new subject and you are staring at a mountain of material. How in the world do you pull all that together effectively? Well, the process is actually incredibly simple. First, you just upload all your raw materials, your lecture notes, textbook chapters, articles, even links to video lectures. Then, with a single click, you generate a whole suite of study aids. And finally, you get to interact with those tools to really test what you know and make sure that information sticks. What's so cool here is just the sheer variety of tools it makes for you automatically. You get study guides, FAQs, quizzes, flashcards. It can even spit out a timeline to organize historical events. But honestly, the real game changer here is the interactive mind maps. Imagine clicking on a main topic and watching it branch out into all its subconcepts. You click again, and those branches expand even further. It's like you're visually flying through your own knowledge, seeing exactly how everything connects in a way that static notes just can't. Okay, so we've seen how it can organize our external world and help us learn. But this is where things get truly fascinating. What happens when you turn this powerful tool inward? What if you could literally have a conversation with yourself? This quote just completely stopped me in my tracks. Imagine feeding years of your own thoughts and feelings and experiences into a totally private system and then asking it to find the patterns. This user asked for their core values, their strengths, their weaknesses, and got back an objective summary based on their own writing. I mean, this is a completely new way to think about self-reflection. Then we're not just talking about traditional journals here. People are uploading years of their Google Calendar data to see how they've actually spent their time. They're analyzing chat logs from WhatsApp or Messenger with friends and partners to better understand their relationship dynamics. You can upload those messy audio notes where you just brain dumped your thoughts, or even old emails you sent years ago. So the whole point is this: it's like getting an objective third-person perspective on your own life. The AI can spot recurring themes, it can highlight blind spots, and it can connect dots across years of your life that you might be way too close to see for yourself. It is a really powerful and, deeply personal new tool. All right, so beyond organization and reflection, NotebookLM is also becoming this incredible engine for creativity and content creation, especially with its ability to turn your static documents into dynamic, living conversations. This sounds like something straight out of science fiction, but I promise you, it's a built-in feature. What if you could take any collection of documents, research papers, meeting notes, whatever, and have them discussed back to you in a podcast format? It does this with two main features. First, there's the audio overview. It creates a podcast with two AI hosts that have a surprisingly natural conversation about the key points from your sources. And here's the wild part. You can actually join the conversation. You can interrupt the AI hosts and ask them clarifying questions in real time. Then there's the video overview, which takes it a step further and generates a whole presentation-style video, complete with a voiceover, a script, and simple visuals to explain your topic. The creative possibilities here are just exploding. People are turning D&D session recordings into actual recap podcasts for their players. You can turn a dense article into a quick, easy-to-listen-to summary. You can turn your blog post into an explainer video. In fact, Andre Karpathy, one of the original founders of OpenAI, created an entire podcast series on Spotify that was generated by NotebookLM. For content creators, this is a total repurposing machine. So, you are probably buzzing with ideas by now. But how do you actually get started and use this thing effectively? Let's run through some pro tips to help you get the most out of NotebookLM right away. First off, just experiment. Seriously, grab your 10 most recent documents, whatever they are, toss them in a notebook, and just see what happens. Second, don't just stare at a blank screen. Use the suggested questions in the notebook eye to get the conversation started. Third, remember, you're in control. Use those little checkboxes next to your sources to tell the AI exactly which documents to focus on for a specific question. Fourth, and this is super important, your chat history isn't saved automatically. If you get a great answer, you have to hit that Save to Note button to keep it. And finally, before you close a notebook, get in the habit of asking it, summarize the key points of our conversation. That way, future you can pick up right where you left off. You know, when you step back and look at all these different uses, from organizing car repairs to studying for an exam to analyzing your own journal, you start to realize that NotebookLM is more than just a clever little tool. It really feels like a fundamental shift in how we interact with our own information. We're moving from a world of static files and folders to a world of dynamic, conversational knowledge that is uniquely and privately yours. And that really brings us to the final thought. The technology is here, right now. You can build a personal library that contains your projects, your studies, your hobbies, and even your own memories. And you can ask it anything you want. So the only real question left is, what would you ask your personal library first?
I hope you enjoyed this overview of NotebookLM. And now that we've finished our review of this amazing AI tool, you have some ideas for how you can use this powerful tool to get more done, help your kids study, or maybe learn something new yourself. Do you have a ton of ideas brewing in your head? I know I do. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to hit subscribe. And thanks for watching.